Hi there, and thank you for showing up for Youth Mission Sunday. The students of Good Shepherd Lutheran Church have been busy writing, planning, and prepping for this service. Our prayer is that this is a blessing to you, that you leave here today with some thoughts and ideas about how you can incorporate paying attention to Jesus into your own life. And as always, thank you for showing up to support our students. So without further ado, Youth Mission Sunday.
Hi, our lesson for today is Luke chapter 10, 38 through 42. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered the village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. She had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teachings. But Martha was distracted with much serving. She went up to him and said, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her to help me." But the Lord answered her, "Martha, Martha, you're anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her."
Have you ever wondered what it might be like to have a glimpse into the mind of a teenager?
Ooh, I am popular. My feed is popping off. Hey, wake up! Hey, wake up! You see all this popularity? You see all that? Yep. Hey, what's going on, guys? I gotta silence my phone because my notifications won't stop coming in. I am just so popular, and I just keep making all this YouTube money. You see this Rolex I just bought with all my sponsorship I got going on? You already know. So we're just gonna be doing a regular vlog. Damn, he's gone. But firstly, what I do is I come into my nice bathroom. You know, I work hard for this, guys. I came a long way, and I just, from the bottom of my heart, I gotta say thank you guys for all the subscribers, all the likes. I couldn't do it without you guys. So first of all, I'll just be starting off with my face stuff. I got all my wash right here. So this is what I'm using now. I got the Body Shop Tea Tree Skin Clearing Foaming Cleanser. It does it all, really. And then I got my nice rag, made out of the finest quality you can possibly get them made out of.
You need a haircut. I mean, seriously, you look like a mess. That, and I hope you have an actually decent outfit today, because yesterday you look like you covered yourself in glue and rolled through a Goodwill. I mean, speaking of yesterday, I hope no one remembers that stupid answer you gave in English.
I remember.
No.
I remember. You thought Julius Caesar was named after the salad?
Ask her if we could get burritos.
You seem kind of distracted today. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
Oh, it's okay. I got another one.
Thank you.
I don't really know either. Oh, hey, Dylan.
So, you're gonna ask her out? Come on, go for it.
I heard she's pretty popular. Dude, you're broke. There's no way she's gonna date you.
What if you don't ask her, you might regret it for the rest of your life?
What if she's the one?
Or, on the other hand, you might ask her and regret that too.
Don't you mean regret?
I misspelled it, okay? It's a mistake. Oh, I think I've had one too many burritos. Yeah.
I just wanna tell you how I'm feeling. Gotta make you understand. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you.
Your Instagram could use some relationship pics. After all, it's full of pictures of you and your cat.
Mr. Brown, you know, Dylan, I'm concerned. Your math grade, it's really slipping. You're a bright, bright student, and I'm just concerned that you're not applying yourself.
Think about it, okay? Why you don't need math at all? Why do you need to know the square root of pi when you're making $5 an hour at Taco Bell? Whatever you're doing, you don't need it. It's just an imaginary object. You have a calculator on your phone. You don't need math. It's useless.
Shut up.
Excuse me?
Nothing. I'll work on it. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Sorry.
What's your shirt say?
Winner, what's your GPA looking like? Colleges are looking for well-rounded students, and I think you should add a few extracurriculars to your portfolio. What about robotics, or drama, or maybe baseball? You should really just add all of them.
Just you speaking is giving me a headache right now, and it's not letting me think.
You know, you really should have never quit baseball. Imagine how good you'd be now.
You don't want to end up at some loser school, or worse, a job that no one thinks is cool.
Have you heard that being an influencer is a degree now?
Who cares if your job is cool? As long as you make bank, that's what counts.
But he should do something.
He needs to be an influencer. Look at
I need somebody, not just anybody. You know I need someone. When I was young, so much younger than today. Never needed
thank goodness. It was just a dream.
Why is that orange yellow?
Because you didn't have enough money to afford it.
Toss it here, toss it here.
Hey, who are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
Why don't you have a shirt on like the rest of them?
You think I would dress like these nerds? Are you kidding me? I'm better than that. I'm Pride.
How is this? Hello? I don't think my mic's working. I think the mics are broken.
Hello, my name is Gavin, and this year will be my 4th mission trip. Now, distraction. Distraction is something that pulls us away from the essentials. In this video, we saw Apathy, played by Alex, distracting Dylan from his teacher as she tried to talk to him about his grades. For me personally, though, I've been struggling with the distraction of the future. Trying to prepare for something that is down the line has taken me away from what is going on in the present. And a big part of that distraction for me is college. Will I go to college? Which college will I go to? When will I go to college? Who will I go to college with? It is all college, college, and even more college. But I'm not in college now. I'm a junior in high school. So how am I distracted by college so much? I'm distracted by all the choices I can make instead of the choices I have already made. Since I've been consumed and focused and worrying about my future, it has created less time for my faith. It has caused me to pay less attention to my faith. I don't find myself praying about the future, but I find myself thinking about it and trying to navigate through the future blind. I have turned a blind eye to my #1 tool while doing this, and that's Jesus. My worries are, what choice will I make? Will it be the right choice? And what are the negatives and the benefits of this choice? I have tried to solve my own problems instead of taking my problems to God. Instead of praying, I think. I try to figure it out on my own, thinking and stressing, and then doing even more thinking and stressing. I've realized I'm going to need to be a follower in this situation and not a leader. Now, I'm sure not too many of you are distracted by a higher form of education choices, such as me, but 100% of people are distracted each and every single day. Can you believe that? Now, Google doesn't say that, but I do from personal experience. But in all seriousness, statistics do show that 84.4% of people are distracted each and every single day at work and are thinking about, and 47% of the time, people are thinking about something else than what they are currently doing. Think about it. How many times a day do you find yourself sidetracked and distracted? How about in a week, a month, a year? You might even find yourself struggling to pay attention through the short amount of time I've been up here talking. And that is because distraction comes naturally. It's completely normal to get distracted, but focusing on God takes work. Heck, as I was writing this sermon, I was distracted by the music I was playing and listening to. It threw me off completely. When I was playing music and I heard a good verse, I wanted to go check out the song and say, hey, what song is this? And as I did that, I went back to go type up my sermon, and I was completely sidetracked and messed up everything I was currently working on. We see distraction in the lives of kids, teens. It shows up in working adults and even those that are retired. We see it in the modern world, but we also see it in Jesus' times as well.
In our reading, we see two sisters with two very different sets of priorities. We're going to revisit the reading together now. Now, as they went on their way, Jesus entered a village, and a woman named Martha welcomed him into her house. And she had a sister called Mary, who sat at the Lord's feet and listened to his teaching. I want you to visualize this scene: Mary, fully present, still, hanging on Jesus' every word. You can almost sense the calm serenity in this moment as she is fully focused on Christ. And then there's Martha. But Martha was distracted with much serving, and she went up to him and said, Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her then to help me. You can picture Martha's demeanor: frantic, rushed, hurried. You can sense her urgency, frustration, and anger in our text. And then there is Jesus' response to her. But the Lord answered her, Martha, Martha, you are anxious and troubled about many things, but one thing is necessary. Mary has chosen the good portion, which will not be taken away from her. You know, the funny thing is in our reading, it begins with Martha being the one who welcomes Jesus into her home. But somewhere along the lines, by the end of it, we have her telling him off and telling him how he should handle this situation. So how do we go from her welcoming Jesus to this exchange later in the reading? It all begins with distraction. She is not focused on Jesus. She is consumed and occupied by other things. Our reading says she is distracted with much serving. Her distraction leads to anxiousness and worry. How am I going to get all this done? There's not enough time, not enough hands to accomplish this. Out of her anxiousness and worry, she begins to compare. My sister's done nothing. Why am I the one doing all the work? Why is she just sitting there? And then she has an outburst in angry words. And her relationship with God is damaged, and her relationship with her sister as well. Now, maybe you've been in a similar situation. You're distracted by any number of things. It might not be with serving, but it could be, the things that consume our thoughts, our minds, that occupy our time. Maybe you can relate to some of the distractions that Dylan encountered in our video: money, the future, other people's opinions. And out of this, as soon as we take our eyes off Jesus and we focus on the things of the world, anxiousness and worry sets in. The what ifs. What if I'm not good enough? What if I don't have enough? What if the future, fill in the blank? Then we start comparing. Why is my life like this? Why do they have it so easy? Why is everything just handed to them? Yet here I am working. And then we speak. And just like Martha, our relationship with God is damaged, and our relationship with other people is also damaged. Somewhere along the lines, Martha lost sight of what she should have been focusing on: Jesus. Her priorities shifted, and she began to pay attention to details and accomplishing things, and it cost her. Because you see, whatever you pay attention to will end up costing you. Martha chose to pay attention to getting things done, serving, accomplishing things, and it cost her. It cost her her peace and contentment. It cost her time with Jesus, and ultimately, it placed a cost on her relationship with her sister. What she got in return was anger, resentment, and a reprimand from Jesus. A gentle reprimand, but a reprimand nonetheless. Mary chose to pay attention to Jesus, and it has cost her too. It has cost her her own plans. It has cost her accomplishing things, and ultimately, it has cost her the respect of her sister. But in return, she gets one-on-one time with Jesus, his words, and his reassurance. Mary has chosen the good portion, and it will not be taken from her. You see, whatever we pay attention to will end up costing you. Now, before I prepped for this, I didn't give this phrase much thought: pay attention. We usually use that word pay in terms of money, okay? We have limited funds, and so we pick and choose what we purchase, what we're willing to spend on something, versus how much value we give it. What we have limited attention to. It is not an endless supply. Everything we say yes to paying attention to means saying no to paying attention to something else, or multiple something else's. So, what are you paying attention to? The regret of yesterday? The need for notoriety? The accumulation of possessions or wealth? Maybe it's the pull of comparison and other people's opinions of you. Are you paying attention to the appeal of pleasure and taking the easy way out? your own pride, or Jesus?
Hi, my name is Dylan, and this will be my second mission trip, and I am very prone to being distracted. You might never find yourself going on a trip like this, but there are 3 lessons that I've learned from my mission trip that have helped me to pay more attention to God and what He is doing. The first being, get more comfortable with the uncomfortable. These trips create a lot of stress and uncomfortable vibes for me. It is very likely that we will be put into a group with another church for the week, serving with these people that I've never met before. Our first night at the site, our leaders go into a meeting and we get assigned into our different projects. You sign up for this trip not knowing exactly what you'll be doing. This means that when you get into a project, you might love it or you might hate it, but you don't get to know in advance. This forces me to depend on God way more than in my normal life. At home, I try to stick to situations where I feel comfortable and in control. When all these things are removed, I see how much I really need God's support, and my focus changes. I shift from paying attention to my own plans, and I surrender to His plan. I stop focusing on my own comfort and control, and instead, I see the ways He's showing up and taking care of me. The second reason is your life is too full for Jesus. On the trip, you spend a lot of time doing personal devotion, nightly worship with the other churches, time with just your church, a foot washing, and yay gods. The last night of the trip, the leaders wash our feet, and each of them personally prays for each student. Yay gods are where we share where we have seen God that week. The only reason we have time to do all these things to help us focus on Jesus is because we gave up doing other stuff. If you want to spend time with God, you're going to have to give up paying attention to something else. The third is confess your mess. These trips force me to get honest about what I need to change and what I pay attention to. For 1 week, I see what it's really like to make God number 1 in my life. I realized that I use a lot of my time at home poorly on distractions like others' opinions, my own pride, and apathy. I see that I make a lot of excuses. Last year's trip helped show me what my pride is really costing me. If you can't admit what you're actually paying attention to, how can you change and get closer to God? Each of us has to find out on our own what our own personal distraction is that's keeping us from Jesus, and why we are listening to these things. Why do we think these things are going to get us anything, and why do we even want these things? So, what are you paying attention to, and what is it costing you?
Once again, thanks for joining us today for Youth Mission Sunday. If you'd like to follow our students while they're on their summer trip to Savannah, Georgia, which will be July 21st through the 28th, you can visit us at our blog. We'll be posting pictures as well as updates written by the kids on the trip, and sometimes, even if you're lucky, some video. So do check that out. Follow us on our journey. And as always, thank you so much for your support and for your prayers for the students of Good Shepherd.